another meal prep with me video. In today's video I'm going to show you how I make 2 different types of meals and how I prep a couple of snacks. So the first dish we're going to make today will be a pasta dish that I like to have for lunch. Now, like with all my other previous videos, I will leave a full ingredients list in the description box below, and I will also leave all the macros for each meal as well in the description box below for you guys, because I know you do ask for this as well. So in a large saucepan over a relatively high heat, we're going to bring to boil approximately 2 litres of water. So once that water is boiling, we're just going to add in about half a tablespoon of salt, and then we're going to add in 1 packet of this pulse pasta, peas, lentils, chickpeas and borlotti beans. Now this is a great source of protein and the carbs are a lot lower on this as well. So 1 packet of this is going to do approximately 2 meals. You can probably get 3 meals out of it, but I'm going to go for 2 meals in this one. So while that's cooking in a saucepan, we're going to drizzle a little bit of coconut oil and just heat that up, making sure the pan is evenly coated. And then we're going to add in our mince. So I'm going to use this Quorn vegetarian mince. You can use a normal mince if you like, but I'm going to use this one as well, and we're just going to cook that over a medium heat. Making sure you do stir it occasionally just so that it cooks evenly and then the bottom doesn't burn. Now you can pick this mince up from Woolworths and I think Coles as well, otherwise you can get different alternatives from other vegan or vegetarian health food stores. Now we're going to add in some frozen vegetables. Now I have no problem using frozen vegetables, especially if they're snap frozen, as it locks in all the nutrients. However, if you do prefer to use fresh, you can use fresh vegetables. And we're going to add in approximately 200 grams of these into our mince, and then we're going to cook that through as well. These won't take very long to cook through at all. So now that our pasta is cooked in a large strainer, we're just going to strain out all that excess water and just making sure that they are nice and drained. You can use a bit of tap water just to drizzle over it and get off any of the extra water as well. And we're going to pop them back into our now empty saucepan, as it's just going to be a lot easier to mix everything together in. So taking our mince and vegetables, because these are cooked now, we're just going to carefully spoon these into the saucepan without getting them everywhere. So I forgot to mention the mince and the vegetables will also serve about 2 meals. So it's just easy to cook it into lots like I am, and then you can go back and cook more later. So we're just going to stir these around, making sure it's all nice and even. And now taking this Leggos stir through sun-dried tomato and roasted garlic. I picked this up from Woolworths. We're just going to pour approximately half of this jar into it, and we'll save the other half for our next batch. So just pouring that in now, and then we're going to mix that around thoroughly to make sure it's all nice and evenly combined. Now you can add a bit of parmesan if you do want some extra flavour. Keeping in mind that as soon as you start to add cheese, the fat is going to go up. So if you do have enough macros to increase your fats, then go ahead. If you don't, I would probably just leave it at this. It doesn't really need any cheese. It has quite a nice flavour as it is. Now popping that aside and moving on to your next one, whilst you are preparing your next 2 meals, repeating those steps, I'm going to move on to show you how to make a really quick and easy snack. So as I said before, I do intermittent fasting, and to break my fast at about 11 AM I have a protein shake. So to make life easy, I'm just going to scoop out my protein, put it in Ziploc bags and take it with me. Now I use Prana Plant Protein, I love it, and I have a discount code I will also leave here as well for you guys to save some money. Now moving on to another little snack quickly while our food is still cooking. This is so simple, it's literally just crumpets and peanut butter. I love crumpets before I work out because they literally are just carbs, so they are really good to give you that bit of energy, especially if you are on a slightly higher carb diet like I currently am, and they are really filling as well. So I'm just going to pop them into little Ziploc bags, and I like to keep these in the fridge because I find they last a lot longer, especially if you live in a more of a humid warm climate. They can go off really quickly, so just keeping them in the fridge will just prolong the lifespan of these. And then with your peanut butter, I like to pre-measure mine out because peanut butter is so easy to go over and accidentally eat too much, which means you're going to completely blow out your calories. So if you do have these measured out and pop them into little tiny containers, that way you can just grab and go on the day. It's going to make life so much easier, and it's also going to help make tracking your macros a lot more accurate. So just pop it on that lid and you are all good to go for the week. Now moving on to our last meal today. This is just going to be a really simple rice, chicken and vegetarian duck. You can use regular duck or you can use regular chicken if you prefer. So cutting our duck up, I'm just going to open this one up now. I bought this from Loving Hut in Brisbane. You can buy them from just vegan grocers. And it looks a little like this. It's just made from a wheat protein, so it's really high in protein and the carbs and fats are quite low on this. So I'm just going to pull it apart. It does break apart quite easily, and then I'm just going to slice it up into smaller pieces as well. So for this meal, I'm going to measure out approximately 150 to 160 grams of my fake chicken. You can use as much as you like depending on your protein intake. I try and have roughly 130 grams of protein a day. So in our saucepan again, we're just going to drizzle a little bit of coconut oil and just make sure that our pan is evenly coated. So once it's nice and coated, we're just going to place our fake duck in there. Now this doesn't take very long to cook. I just like to cook it so it's nice and golden on either side and the edges are a little bit crispy. So whilst that is cooking, we're just going to move on to our rice now and prepare that. Now I honestly just use this pre-packaged rice. You can cook your own rice if you like, but these packets are only like $2 for a massive packet and you're going to get about 3 meals out of them. So if you're lazy like me, this is so easy. So I'm just going to scoop about a cup of rice out of there and into my container. And then I'm going to move in and cut up some broccoli. Now, I just put my broccoli in raw because I do microwave this and I don't want to cook the broccoli and then have to re-microwave it later on. It just doesn't taste as good. So I do just put it in raw and dump it in the microwave when I'm ready to eat it. You can also freeze these meals as well. They will last you a week or so if you freeze them. I always just do about a 5-day meal prep and then I'll just eat them that week. So now that my duck is ready and looking nice and crispy, I'm just going to place this on top and then I am ready to go. So that is the finished meal prep. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any questions, drop me a comment in the comments box below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give me a massive thumbs up. If there are any other videos you'd like to see, then also let me know. I'd love to hear. And I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye!